Mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato. Bazinga. Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can hopefully see by what's on my face, I'm going to be showing you how to achieve the Money Heist mask, the Salvador Dali look. The tutorial is fairly easy. There's a couple of steps and you can achieve this look as well. So if you would like to find out how to achieve this Money Heist mask look, then just keep on watching. Alright, let's start. I don't think I ever did this step on camera because it takes so long. I'm going to block out my brows, and for that I'm just going to use a regular old Pritt stick. People have various different techniques. They do it in a bulk or they do it in layers. I prefer a layer method. So I'm going to put the Pritt stick on, let it dry, put it on, let it dry, and then put it on once more and let it dry until I have about 5 or 6 layers. Alright, so I think I did 7 or 8 layers in total actually. The more you do, the nicer the final effect, especially if you have a lot of hair. So if you have very thick brows, you might need more layers, but if you have very thin brows, you might need less. I think I'm ready. I am actually going to slightly color correct. To be honest, this is not necessary. I could probably do a layer of very pigmented foundation and it would look alright, but just in case, if the natural color of my brows comes through, I am going to color correct. I don't actually have color correcting products. I'm just going to use a regular lipstick that is slightly orange in tone, and I'm going to put not a lot on, just a little bit, and I'm just going to blend this in with a brush. And once that is laid down, I'm going to take a very high coverage concealer. I'm using Adrian from Maybelline, but you could literally use any concealer that you want. Just make sure it's reasonably good coverage. If not, you might need 2 layers. And you want to apply this in like a stamping motion, so just in case you do have gaps in between the brows where the glue hasn't penetrated in between the brows, you can at least fill it in with colour. This is where you can clearly see if the brow blocking was successful. I'm not the best at it, I'm getting better and better, but honestly it doesn't really matter all that much. Just try your best and it'll be fine. The next step is powder, and I'm going to take my new best friend, my powder puff from Wet n Wild, and I'm going to dip it into my powder. If you don't have a powder puff, you can use your makeup sponge, but use it dry. And what you want to do is stamp the powder into your brow. Your brows will get very stiff, but that's okay. I'm just going to take a big brush to wipe the excess off. And now let's move on to the foundation. I'm going to take Jouer Essential High Coverage, but you could literally use any foundation that you want. I just personally know this is probably the most pigmented foundation I own, so it's going to be perfect for this. I'm adding quite a lot onto my brows first. See, I didn't do that good of a job at the front, but it's okay. It's not a deal breaker. We can still work with this. And I didn't do a good enough job at the tail of my brow. There's still some hair peeking through there. Again, it's not that big of a deal. This is good enough. It will not ruin the final effect. And for me, this is going to be the foundation I put all over, so I'm just going to apply the rest all over my face. I only covered my top lip, and this foundation is slightly too light for me at the moment, but it's going to add to the mask effect. If you can't get a lighter foundation if you're very pale, just use your regular foundation, it's fine. Again, it's not going to ruin your makeup if the foundation is not lighter. I am going to conceal my under eye separately just in case the pigmentation peeks through. Alright, time to powder everything. And the reason why I'm doing this is for my products later on to stick to my base a lot better. I will be using face paint. You can use, for the black, you can use your liquid liner or kohl liner. For the white, again, just use a white pencil. But for those to stick, you need to set your whole face today. I'm not happy about it either. Okay, and now we can finally start doing the elements on the face. I have decided to go with the easiest, most simplistic version purely because it looks the best. I had 3 tries on this look because I really wanted to nail it, and every single time the more details I put in, the less I liked it. So let's get going. I'm going to start by taking a contour palette, and I'm using Revolution Roxy palette. I'm going to dip into the second shade, following where my actual brow is. I'm going to follow that, really make it round. So I'm actually going along the side of my nose and down on the outer portion of my eye. You really want to apply a reasonable amount. You know, this is Halloween. It doesn't need to be added sparingly. However, it does need to be blended. So I'm taking my time to blend this in. We are essentially making a new crease. And then underneath the eye, you kind of want to follow the outer corner of your top lid. If you actually touch your face, this is where your eye socket begins. You'll feel a bone underneath there, so you kind of want to go on that. Once you have like a half, you want to go in straight at an angle. This looks crazy at the moment, but it already looks a bit scary. So okay, and I'm going to clean my brush off on the side of my palette, just right here, to get the pigment off, and I'm going to blend this in. If you are going to blend it down. And now, optional step, you don't have to do this. I'm going to take my foundation. You can take the concealer, it's up to you. Only a very small amount. I'm dipping my flat brush in it, and I want to kind of clean up, almost cutting my crease. I'm adding a bit of highlight, and then the same on the top lid, but obviously the crease will be a lot higher. I do recommend just taking a little bit of powder to pat this in. And now I recommend taking a liner brush. I'm going to take that contour palette again, the same shade I was using before. On the outer corner, you want to make 3 lines going in 3 different directions. One going up, one out, and one down. And you can just blend this in with your finger. You also want to take that contour and go around your nostrils, but more so onto your cheeks to kind of give the impression of your nose being wider. I'm contouring, but I'm not doing it right here to slim it out. I'm actually trying to make it wider. I'm going to blend this in. You want to take any lipstick, any nudie brown lipstick. I'm going to go with Posh Spice from Jeffree Star. This is nice and cool toned. It will go with the look. The mask the characters are wearing is smiling downwards. Smiling downwards. It's called frowning. So you need to imitate that. Smiling downwards. What was I even thinking? I'm going to add a little bit more detail later on, and let's move on to the face paint. Again, don't worry if you don't have face paint. I'm using 2 colours only, and you can substitute them with a pencil liners or liquid liners. Use whatever you have. I'm going to start with white, and I'm using Snazaroo. It's a classic when it comes to face paint, and I don't like my face paint to be too wet. It just drips down your face, so I use a spray bottle to wetten the face paint. And I'm using another flat brush just to pick some face paint up. And I'm going to draw my eye in. I'm actually using my natural crease as a guide. I'm just going to set this with a white eyeshadow. But again, use what you have. If you don't have a white eyeshadow, just use powder. I look like a very weird clown at the moment. Keep watching, okay? It's gonna look fine. And now, something that will make this look what it needs to be. The black face paint. I cannot wait to see this character come to life by just using a bit of black. I'm going to start with the brows, and as you can imagine, I'm going to start on my forehead, and I've got an angled brush and I'm going to stamp it. It's quite an arched round brow. I'm also going to give myself or deepen my widow's peak. Now it's time to do what Dali is known for, the mustache. Again, I'm using the fact I've got an angled brush to my advantage. I'm going to start from the center of my lips and place the brush flat, and you want to go out. And once you're out to about where your pupil is, you want to go down and go like as if you're writing a C, like that. So you want to create a dip, and if you have a lot of texture like myself, you might have to fill in the little gaps that form. And then the mustache goes thinner as they go along, and then you actually want to go on your false lower lid just a tiny bit, and then all you need to do is repeat it on the other side and keep it quite even. Not a big deal, right? And I'm actually going to leave a tiny little gap between the tash as well. I'm drawing the gap between the lips, and then I'm going to use the end of my brush to draw in the pupils. The reason why I'm using the end of a brush is because it's just easier to keep it round. And then with this one, because it's on the eyes, you want to set the black. I'm using the black eyeshadow. Alright you guys, so here it is. This is my final Money Heist Salvador Dali mask. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you recreate it. It's fairly easy. There's a couple of steps that take a long time, like the brows, but it is totally worth it. I hope you enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I would love to know down in the comments below who's your favourite character from Money Heist if you do watch it. Mine would probably have to be Helsinki. I think that's it. I shall see you on Wednesday. I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best.